Hi YouTubers, Andre here from the DIY bench. Today's video, I want to show you how to fix a Sebo. I'm just going to hold it up to the camera so you can see the name. Aquarium pump. Now this aquarium pump, I bought it new last year December. And so it's December 2019. And it stopped working a month ago. It was just dead one morning when I woke up, and so I'm going to open it up, and I've opened it up. I'm just going to do it again. I'm going to show you what I did to fix it. I took this pump back to the shop where I bought it, and initially the guy they told me that they don't sell parts for it, which is a real bummer. But he showed me what was wrong with it, and after replacing those parts, it did not make a difference. Okay, so let's open this up. It's got 3 screws holding it. Now I just want to say that it doesn't matter what type of aquarium pump you have. This is going to work exactly the same. These pumps all work in the same type of manner. Okay, so when I took this pump back to the shop, the guy there told me that these rubbers here at the back, and you can see I replaced these rubbers now, were worn out, and I couldn't really believe it, that 2 little rubbers at the rear could make the pump not work. So I replaced them, and I replaced them with a radio control gas engine tubing. Now I'm just gonna take one out, and I'm gonna show you. You'll see here they slip out very easily. They just slip on and off there. So, and even if they were not exactly the right type of rubber or piece of pipe, the pump should still like really pump, which is not the case now. So I'm just going to take this one off as well. And one suggestion I've got here, because it's got dual, it's a dual pump. It's got 2 holes here. So the one diaphragm is responsible for the one, and the other diaphragm is responsible for the other one. If you're not going to use both of those, then I suggest taking one out and storing it somewhere in a plastic bag and just keep it. Because when I opened this pump, I could already see cracks in the rubber around. So when this fails, at least you will have another spare, another backup diaphragm. Okay, so I mean, as you could see, I replaced those, and the pump was still very pathetic. You can fiddle a little bit, push them around, but at the end of the day, that did not solve my problem. So I'm gonna take the part out. That was causing this problem. So now you can see here, this is part of the pump assembly. So it pushes the air through here, and it comes out here, and it goes to the bottom, to the little pipes. So I'm going to put this on one side, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm just going to open up one side of it because they're exactly the same. Now if you remove one of them, you get like a place where there is very fine and thin rubbers, Now on top here, there is a rubber, there's a rubber cover, and that's also starting to deteriorate. You can see it. I'm not sure if the camera will show it, but you can really see there's a crack developing, although it's still in a one piece. And I suggest putting some oil on it, or Q20 or WD-40. That will also help. I'm just going to put it back in here like that. It's got a little pin there, so you can't make a mistake. Okay, now the real problem is here. If I flip this around, I'm not sure. I'm going to take it out. I think it's important. If you take this rubber out, you'll see at the bottom here, I'm going to take it out. I think that's important. And you'll see this is a little piece of rubber. It looks like a teardrop, and it's very thin. Now I'm not sure it was in this one or on the other side, but as you can see, it's got discoloration there, and the dark part actually broke off on the other one, and there was actually no rubber anymore. So if you look through, you'll see there's a little hole there. Just going to put this down for the moment. There's a little hole at the back here, and when you put this rubber in, it covers the hole. Now on this side, there's exactly the same thing. And when I took this apart, I could already see the hole. So I'm going to put this back. This keeps the rubber from falling out. Now, the reason the pump stops working, and I'm going to tell you the principle, how it operates. Luckily it's still on the table. Okay, so what happens is the air pushes through the hole. It lifts the little rubber here. It pushes the air through, and the purpose of the rubber is it collapses down onto the hole, so the air cannot escape back. So that's actually very important, because if that doesn't close up, the pump is useless and it doesn't work. Now on the other side, although you might see the hole, I'm just gonna open this up. You'll see here, and I'm not sure if the camera will see this, you'll see I've got a very thin piece of plastic here, and that piece of plastic I cut from a thin piece of plastic I had lying around. So you can go and you can really find something that is bendy, plasticky, if I can say it like that, or if you have a very thin piece of rubber, it will work exactly the way the old one used to work. But I've already tested this pump, and it actually works quite well. It's pumping again. It's pumping full power. It's really doing its work again. I'm just gonna try and get this back here. This piece of rubber. Okay, let's try that. And that is, once you can get a replacement lying around, and you just cut it more or less like a teardrop, the same as the other one, it will work fine. It's going to be trial and error. It might not work, but I think because it pushes air through and it doesn't require much to pull it back or push it back, any thin material, even a piece of paper would work, but obviously you want to try something that's stronger than the paper. So on both sides I replaced it with my custom piece of plastic, and it seemed to be working fine. Now this going back, it's got a hole and it's got a pin, and it's got to go back exactly like that. Oh my word, my eyes are not as good as they used to be. Okay, there we go. So if I did not open this aquarium pump up more, I would never have found the fault. I would have fiddled with these things, and eventually I would have given up, I'm sure. So if these diaphragms are not perished and losing air, it's worth disassembling the pump further and make sure that these little diaphragms here, or pieces of plastic, are still in good condition, which in my case wasn't, and that was the whole problem while the aquarium pump was not doing its job. And I'm just going to repeat again, if you're not going to use both diaphragms, if you don't need both of them to pump through the holes, just leave one out and put it aside, because one day it will perish and you will not find a spare, and then you at least have a backup. And I'm sure that is definitely the way to go here. I really hope you guys out there, or somebody out there, will find this video useful, and you can save an aquarium pump by fixing it this way, so we've got less stuff ending up on the scrap heap. Thank you for watching. Cheers.